Hello, mandolin players. Nice to have you here for another mandolin lesson here on Facebook Live. I already can see some people are in here. Sabi, nice to see you here. And today I'm going to answer some questions about jazz mandolin chords. 2 weeks ago I made this video where I also shared some sheet music with you. It's movable 3-string shapes, jazz mandolin chords, and it's been a lot of you have downloaded this. It's hundreds of people, so I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad this can help you, and I also got lots of questions sent to me from people asking me things about this. So in this today I'm going to answer some of the questions. And for you that doesn't know me, I'm Magnus Söderlund, professional mandolin player from Sweden and teacher as well. I do online teaching. And yeah, you can go download this at my website, mandolinsecrets.com/jazz chords. There you find it. Yes, it's nice to see people watching, and I try to stay to the subject, but I will also be very glad if you just send me a comment that you're watching it and from where we are seeing this, because I think it's quite amazing that these videos can reach so far. Yes, so I start off with the questions here. And the first one is from Cindy in Oregon. Is asking me, the question is related to this little piece here. And she's asking me, is the G chord shape movable? And it's a good question, because that little G chord here, it differs a little bit from the other ones. And the way it differs is it's using some open strings also. But the answer for Cindy and for other people wondering about that is yes, it's movable. And the way we do it is this chord, by the way. It's a G major 7. And it's in the sequence like this. Minor 7, D7, G major 7. And to move that chord, you just do the same. Let's say you want to play it in A, for example. You just move this 2 frets up, and you also bring up the open string. So it becomes the A major 7. And you can also move this, and this is a shape I use a lot for A major 7 and B flat major 7, C, all the way up to D, even E flat. But we do it on the 3rd here, starting from the 3rd fret. It's a B major 7, very beautiful sounding. So we move this up here. And it also goes the other way around. You can of course move a chord, fretted chord here in the closed position, down to the open strings. Now I can demonstrate it using, for example, this chord. It's on the 3rd page. There is the A minor 7 chord, looking like this. If you take that down using the open string, or maybe you want to fret it like this, it becomes a G major 7. So you can move around these chords even down to the open strings. And those chords, they actually sound very good together. This is the B major 7. very well for kind of like a modal jazz or something like that. So, yeah. The answer is all the chords on this, all the 3-string shapes here on the chord charts are movable. Move on to the next question. I hope that answer Cindy's question and also for other people. I have Sven from Sweden asking like this. And he's talking about, it's from the first page with the major 2-5-1s, down here where we have the F major 7, and he's asking me, the F minor 7, the F minor 7 consisting of the notes C, F and E flat. It can be seen and heard as a F7 as well, and he's right about that. There is no third here, he's asking. Is that because of the reduction of the notes when using 3-string shapes? Yes, it's a very good question. Because when we're playing the 3-string shapes, we have to reduce some harmonic information. Because normally these chords, the major 7th, the minor 7th, the dominant 7th, etc., they consist of the root, 4 notes basically, the root, the 3rd, the 5th and the 7th. So there's 4 notes in the chord, but still, since we're playing only 3 of them, we have to reduce it and take away some of these notes. And normally the most important notes would be the 3rd and the 7th. So most often we take away the root note or the 5th. So I can see why Sven is a little bit confused by this. And in theory that works very well, but however when doing this in practice, I still like to play what feels comfortable to my hands and what sounds good. So there is times when I exclude even the 3rd or the 7th. And this is one of the examples. And that's also one of the reasons why I like practicing and learning these chords in sequences. If you look at, there's plenty of chord charts that you can find everywhere, and maybe you wouldn't find a F major 7 looking like this, because there is no 3rd in there. But the reason I like to play it like that is because this is where I'm targeting. I'm going to the E flat major 7, looking like this. 3 notes. And by the way, there is no 3rd in this chord either, but still it sounds very good, I think. And when doing that, I want to find a 2 chord and a 5 chord that's connected to this position and this shape. And therefore I like to play something like. So in the context, even if there is no minor 3rd in it, I can still very much hear it as a minor chord. So that is the answer why I sometimes leave the 3rd out, because it sounds good and it feels great. But I mean, you always have options here. For example, if we're playing this F minor 7, you can also leave the 5th out and use the 3rd instead. You will find the 3rd here. Then the F minor 7 will sound like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Oh. this is a bit of a stretch, so that's why I like this better. And maybe if we played it like this, maybe we want to resolve also playing the B flat 7, maybe like this. That would sound good. So you see, there is always options here, and so use this only as a framework. And if you wanna, like, if you think you wanna add one of the third or something like that, feel free to do it. And this also brings me into another question about this, actually, because there is players and even teachers that tell you not to think of chord shapes when it comes to playing a repertoire like this. You should instead you should see the intervals, you should see what chord note in every chord is. For example, for this, it's the 5th of the chord. This is the root of the chord. This is the 7th, and they say the shapes will only limit you. So go for that instead. But I don't agree with that, because I really believe in the shapes as well, and I do believe there is different layers of knowledge. And the problem is people saying this, that you don't go with shapes, go for really like the building of mandolin chords. The thing is, every one of them, they do know it. And for someone that don't know it, I think to go directly for that can be overwhelming, and that can be also quite, it's a very big, this is a big topic, and going for all that information at once, it can be too much, I think. And the thing when learning learning a bit of shapes first, you will get that into your fingers, you will get that into the sound in your head, you will also see it with your eyes, and by doing that you can go into playing the songs much faster. And that's where I that's what I wanna share with you. I wanna I wanna get into playing songs. I wanna light this fire that makes you wanna swing some mandolin chords. And after we know this, we can also, you will start seeing all the patterns. You will start seeing where the root is. You will start seeing where the third is. So it's like, if the shape is the entry level, from there we're going to the next layer of knowledge, where we can start to see all this. And I have a method how to do it, and but I don't think for right now it's really okay to just go with the shapes. And the next step will be when you start seeing where you have all the roots in the chords. Yeah, I'm not answering this question now, but it's very related to this anyway. So yes, I hope I just go back and answer some more questions. And yeah, for you that just got here, we're talking about I shared some jazz chord charts 2 weeks ago, and I'm now answering some questions from people picking up this. Jay is asking me this: do most jazz standards follow a certain pattern of shapes for mandolin? And as I read this question, I think that I hope this can answer your question, Jay. Yes, there is plenty of patterns in jazz music, and there is even a lot of songs using the same framework. I'm thinking of the jazz blues, the minor blues, the rhythm changes and all that. So that is a pattern in the bigger picture, but also when it comes to other standards, do most jazz standards follow? Yes, so the most popular pattern is the 2-5-1 pattern. And that's why I wanted to start by sharing this with you. Because even in the chord forms that I just mentioned, there is the 2-5-1 progressions. In almost any, and in almost all jazz standards, there's the 2-5-1 progression. So that is a very good starting point to go into. And certain pattern of shapes. Yeah, there is certain pattern of chords, and that also gives us certain pattern of shapes, of course, for mandolin. Olle from Sweden is asking me, what about playing 9th chords, 6th chords? Can you do that with using only 3-string shapes as well? And his next question is actually, what about flat 5 chords? Are finesses like that possible with 3-string chords? I'm translating this from Sweden. I don't know if finesses is an English word, but it's, I hope you understand what I mean. If you can do intricate things like that. And you can. And I just start showing you here for the 9th chords, for example. That really relates to the question from Sven also, that we exclude some notes for building these chords. And if we, for example, take a look at this shape that we got right here. This is from the minor 2-5-1 chord chart. Down here, there's a B7, little V shape. Aaron Weinstein, he gave me a name for this. He called it the Magic 5 chord. Magic, Mandolin 5 chord or something. But it's a little looking like a V like this. And from there, it's very easy to add the 9s here also. When you become more familiar with this, as I told you earlier, you will see that this is the root of the chord, the B note. And we can, I mean, it would be like B7 to E7 to E, sorry, E major. And if you want to add like a 9th to this, you do it by raising the first note. Here is that. So just by putting up the finger there, this would be, and still this is movable, of course. D9, E9. It's also nice to resolve the 9 a little bit. And if you want to make it a flat 9, well, what do? You flatten the note. Make it a sharp 9, sharpen the 9. Jimi Hendrix chord. dissonant, but in a good context it can sound good. And I like the sound of the flat 9. So if you would play that like a 2-5, 1 here, like an F sharp minor to B7 flat 5, flat 9 to E, gives a very nice little melody there. Yeah, and you can also, another thing you can do is for that sound, like the flat 5 for example, you can also add it on the 4th string. What could I come up with? I'm playing A flat 7. If you're doing that, that's a 9, the flat 9, or the sharp 9. The root is there, the 9 flat. So that also, I mentioned it earlier, that these 3-string shapes could also be a foundation for adding these other colors to the chords. Yeah, I got even more questions, and I'm not going to answer them all today, so I decided also to make another Q&A session the next week. It's going to be the same time on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Central European time. So I think I will continue answering some of the questions at that point. And if you have more questions, please send it to me. And for you that haven't downloaded the PDFs yet, go to mandolinsecrets.com/jazz chords, and there you can download it. And I also love you. A lot of you have sent me some, a list of songs that you want me to cover, and it's lots of great songs there. Well, I don't remember who gave me the idea to do Up a Lazy River, the Jethro Burns tune. This. So you can it's that one is very easy to play rhythm to using these 3-shaped chords. And someone want to learn Take 5, Sweet Georgia Brown, Swing 42, Autumn Leaves, Fly Me to the Moon. I have a list here, and hopefully I can go through them one by one. Yes, but that's it for today, and I'm glad people have been watching. I don't see actually who it is, but please leave me a note saying from what place you're watching this. We'll be happy to know it. I'm always glad to see that someone is picking up the message and that it also can reach so far. So until next time, have a good time and happy picking. Bye.